Who is Abflex Stigmata? Okay, my name is Abigail Botma, aka Abflex Stigmata. Abflex Stigmata is an artist, a creative alter ego that I created in music. I found my love for music a long time ago. A long time ago. I started off as a poet. So when I compiled my name, or what is the word we can use? But when I was known as Abflex first, and then I put stigmata, attached stigmata because it means touched by God. That's the spiritual side of myself. So it started off with me writing poems, and then I just put my poetry into rhythm, and then it created the music. So yeah, that's what Abflex Stigmata means, and that's how I was introduced into music. It started in high school, in grade 9, I think. I started writing poems because I was mostly by myself. I have 2 brothers and I'm the last born. So most of the time I was by myself. I started writing because I had no one to talk to. And strange enough, I was writing in this specific book. So I was always scared that my mother would find the book because I was writing a lot of my thoughts in there. I'm talking about crazy, freaky things. And I just told him, I started writing, I started using figure of speeches so that she doesn't understand what I'm actually writing about. So if for example, I would basically talk about a rose and then as a metaphor for a person. So that's how I actually started my poetry. And in high school, before exams, I would issue my classmates like just some motivational notes. I put it in a poetic feel so they can be encouraged. So the poetry actually started there. So one day my aunt, she came across my poems on her computer, and then she's like, oh my word, you should actually submit these to the radio station and let them read it on air because they had that time slot. And then I'm like, okay, that would be nice, but it's too personal for me. Now I'm gonna allow people to see me for who I am. I'm too much vulnerable for that. So I never did it. All of my poems is at home, still from high school. So yeah, started poetry up until grade 12. After I matriculated, I started to work. I don't really want to go into what I do for a living. I got to travel with that. And I was very close to this friend of mine. We grew up together. So he was my music brother. I was an inspiration for him to do music back then. But I always encouraged him that you cannot have all your focus in becoming an artist because this is real life. You need to have something concrete before you can follow this passion because if you're really special, you'll make it. But it's not something that you should pursue at a very young age. Focus on more, on things that will create a foundation for yourself. So in 2015, he passed away while I was on training. And because he loved music so much, his passing really hit me so hard that I told myself, I'm going to record one song, only one song for him. So I came to Kimberley after my training, and I got introduced to a colleague of mine who also did music. And then we shared, and then I found myself in the studio because he wanted to feature me on a track. I was showing him I've written a lot of songs on downloaded beats, but I've never been into the studio. And then he's like, okay, sure, He played me a beat, and then I was just vibing to the beat, and instantly a hook came up. And he said, "I'm gonna steal your hook." I'm like, "Okay, you can steal it, it's fine. Even if you put it out there, I know that it was me, and I'll feel like the, you know." Yes, got into the studio, and it actually just came natural for me in the studio. Honestly speaking, the recording, I was not nervous. The song was actually very nice, and the person that was recording me, that was on the production, was asking a lot of questions about myself. Like it's my first time, and then he was comparing old school hip hop artists with my flow. And yeah, so that was my music journey up until I got into the studio. I actually didn't even have my focus on like music career vibes. I just, after that session, I loved it, and my life changed forever. I got introduced to other artists, and I booked also a session at the studio that I was recording. And then from there onwards, I just stayed connected with those guys. I would visit, I would just be in that vicinity because I wanted to learn. I wanted people to criticize what I'm doing so that I can better myself. I do write my own songs. I've been writing my own songs day one, no ghostwriter, nothing. I feel like people shouldn't be ashamed to say that they have ghostwriters, because first things first, my passion is actually, or where I see myself as becoming a songwriter or ghostwriter for someone. I would definitely encourage. I would not encourage, but to write music. It comes from, for me, it comes from such a special place, and because I started off writing, I think that's why naturally the music, I have that ability. God has given me that ability to write. Not all of us are multi-talented like that, but people should just not be ashamed to say that they have or they need ghostwriters, because at the end of the day, if that song blows up, you win, and all of the people that were on the production wins at the end of the day. Nasty C, I would say, is my number one now, simply because he is so different in his music, and even his beat selection. If you listen to his music, he chooses the most, like, you would say, like, not that beat, that one will come last. He will jump on that beat, and he challenges himself in that way, and hence I love him for that, because I'm also a person that challenge myself. Hence I move in different genres. And I identify myself not as a rapper, because people do ask, Abflex, are you a rapper? Abflex, are you a singer? No, I call myself a rhythmic poet. So yeah, challenging myself and just to see where I can go and just go beyond that. So blockchain, I feel like this is actually my first release as me as an artist. It is already on Amazon now. The visual release will be out soon. So blockchain is basically me introducing my business, and I call my music my business. So yeah, it's gonna be released very soon, the visuals. Basically, the song is what I've been through and how my experiences and the situations that I found myself in has made me stronger. And now I face every situation with the strength that I got from my past experience. I was raised by a single mother, so things were not always okay, and finances were always a problem. And throughout my experiences, I gotten to meet friends. I meet people who were just there for me, and then after some time, I got to see that certain characters are not real in my life, if you get what I'm saying. So that's what the first verse explains. I identified certain people in my life that I should just leave them where they are and then just move forward. Yes, I am actually going to release my first EP. It's the She Mix EP. How many songs on the EP? You'll have to wait to hear how many songs is on the EP. So yeah, but before the EP, there's going to be another single that's going to be released following the blockchain single with visuals as well. So yes, you just have to follow to see what I'm up to and what is going to be released. Hey guys, who you on the phone with? Abflex Stigmata. Catch my new single Blockchain released on all digital platforms. Follow me on these handles down low and wait for the music video to be released real soon. It's quite late, I don't want to lie. So I hope you enjoy.
Realized that the issue's bogus. Just a couple real things that I noticed. I pull it all together and focus. Camera, caption. I snap to the fingers, no magic. Abracadabra is scamming. Lesson 1 to your friends self-breathless. I thought I would die. Life honestly deprived. Friend to my right who died. I just buried in my life. Couple times they hide. I'm just tired of lies. Just to name things in a mention. I build a better future in a mansion. Going up a little, no bragging. Protect me from Debbie. Lavish really ain't nothing unless you rushing. I touch too mainstream and I made fake things. When you're really going that strong, contemplating all your wrong. So many time past gone. Exchange, mix, change and go. Stand on your own, play your part on the road. Take action, find your goal, reach that goal. Console, broken parts of your broken soul. Now is your time to act. Take that script, play that chat. Forget all negative trash. With a rich kid on the block, blockchain got me stacked. Tears on back, just bet at my dad. See code cash, brag man, put it in the bag. This chick big, it won't be enough, just flip it. Dollar with the rand, that's an old thing. I bought the big dealings, I'm planting. Crypto, baby, about to grow into an auntie. Have a child who wants it. Billing on billing that's coming. The call to financial freedom. Trillion, believe it. Stronger, 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 stronger. Wanna give you, make you stronger. On your way to the top. Hold on tight, don't stop. Solid as a rock. Chain that block. Wanna give you, make you stronger. On your way to the top. Hold on tight, don't stop. Solid as a rock. Chain that block. Chain it down. Chain it down. Stronger. Chain it down.